Hey, so we're back as promised. We said we were going to come back when the final installation was done here at Manning Ford in DeKalb, Illinois. Sam's here again to tell us everything that they did to make this place the great fulfillment center that it is, honestly, because when we showed up the first time, it was just being delivered. All the stuff in the drawers, everything was just showing up.
We were knee deep in the installation process.
Completely different facility now. The first thing I noticed though is the people. There was like, obviously in the other facility and in this facility, since they were all spread out is what I'm assuming.
Right.
Everybody was spread out in different places.
Yeah.
I didn't see all these people. This place is, it's a working machine now with how many people are in here.
Exactly. That was the main goal, was consolidation, not only of parts, but obviously their people, you know, working out of 3 different facilities. You're just going to deal with a little bit more of a hard time having, you know, solid pick accuracy, inventory accuracy, organization, you know, and it's just a lot of collaboration. So now that they're all under the same roof and can work together, you know, communicate easier, I think that it's just really helped, in addition to all the new storage. It's
the place is a buzz with activity. Look at all these people walking around.
Yeah.
Let's start with what we do here. Like, so right away when I walked in, what is this? This wasn't here.
Exactly. So they've got 3 different counters right here that is dealing with a lot of the incoming and outgoing materials. So they're receiving and shipping out of this main area.
We saw a truck come in here. This lift just comes up and then the truck just backed right in.
Overhead door backs right in, you know, for summer or winter time or whatever. They've got, you know, their Borroughs drawer and shelving units to make these nice workstation counters here. They've got all their electrical tied into everything. So they've got their workstations for all their different team members. So each counter has its own individual responsibility, whether it's shipping or receiving, whether you're their warranty parts, return parts, things like that. You have delivery shelves here. So the entire layout is all based on flow and organization of their process, you know.
And that's how you laid it out initially, right? There was like a big discussion you had with TJ, even when you talked about laying it out in the software.
Exactly. I mean, here we are, it's February of 2026. These conversations started in January of 2025.
When did I come here to see just this layout initially?
Last fall. I think that was September, October of last year. So it took them a few months to move in. It took us about 6 weeks to install everything, from the time that the first pallet arrived to the time the last screw was bolted in.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so it's been quite the process, but as you can see, I mean, they really have got everything dialed in here. And I was talking
over
to TJ.
here. I want to see this stuff, man. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but like all of this wasn't here. This is what I'm mostly surprised with. Like this, all I saw was these were just being dropped off. They were sitting in place. They were starting to assemble this stuff, but that was it.
Yeah.
So what? This is obviously like some sort of hub of some kind. Like, what is this exactly?
This is their packing workstation.
Okay.
So, you know, that's why it was really important for the conveyor to be located here. So, you know, parts that are coming from, you know, the upstairs storage are coming down right here to where they're getting prepared to be shipped out to go to customers, whether it's various dealers, other parts wholesalers, things of that nature. So they've got, you know, all of their software here. They've got all of their packing supplies, whatever could possibly needed to get that taken care of.
So these aren't parts. This is packing material stuff in here?
Yeah, mostly.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's additional drawer storage that they have for any, you know, fast moving, you know, frequently used parts.
That's what all of these guys are. That's obviously they're expecting a lot of movement.
Yeah, exactly. So we just wanted a ton of drawer storage with shelving underneath, so that way you can fit, you know, packing, you know, cardboard boxes, anything you need underneath that doesn't fit in a drawer, and then you've got all your smaller things organized just right at the tips of your fingers. It's all about efficiency, right? I mean, all these things add up over time. So,
yeah. I love the fact that it's not just a part storage system. It's any part, really.
Yeah.
And this is all their packing materials. And
I mean,
going in
we're going to tailor things as best we can, but sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with an operation like this, part of it is just they have to get into the space and live it and see exactly how their operation is going to flow. So you have to, you know, kind of get some generic, you know, sized and storage, you know, just to be able to give them options so they're not limited.
That's why you and TJ with Borroughs are here today also. You're following up with everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure everything's right.
Now that they're moved in, we want to make sure that everything's working as anticipated, which most everything is. You know, if there's anything that we need to adjust or revise, that's what we do and get it taken care of. And
that's what TJ said. TJ said, yeah, there's some minor things, but with a project of this scope,
there's going to be a punch list item here or there. Yeah, I would say that Everything has been a smashing success. They've been a great customer to work with. They've already talked about the improvements in organization and picking accuracy that they've gotten from this.
Well, I couldn't imagine how it wasn't, because what we've seen before on the befores, having them at 2 facilities trying to pick through all those parts and not have. I mean, now you just have organization just for the packing materials.
Yeah,
that alone is a huge improvement.
It's been night and day. I mean, you can see that how the shelves are organized. There's much less disarray. It's just a lot easier. Everybody knows where everything's located. It's safer. It's efficient.
I don't think any
good.
of this was here.
No.
I don't think any of this rivet span was in place at all.
No, this was actually one of the final touches. This
was
kind
it?
of, yeah, this was kind of the final area of where things were going up here. Like I said, throughout the 6-week installation process. But, these are, again, this is kind of a generic storage application that, is good for bulky, medium-sized, heavy or light-duty parts. It's very easy for box storage, sliding things on and off.
Everything, exactly.
And then they go through and they've got everything labeled, so everything has has a home, a spot where it's supposed to be, and that just leads to increased organization.
They didn't just clean this up for this video shoot. I imagine this is
actually
what it looks like.
We're catching them right in the they're letting us come in right in the middle of the operation.
We're harassing them right now. Exactly.
It's perfect.
Let's go back here. I want to see back in this area, because there was some really cool stuff back in this area. So we have all of these drawer and shelf units inside the box edge.
Yeah, so you can
These are crazy.
You can see the perforated end panels that they have here. These they're great on end caps of box edge units, and they're perfect for hanging storage, whether that's windshield wipers or cords or anything else that they may have. Obviously you can see how much high density storage they can have just an end cap here.
Yeah.
And then you go into your rows of box edge shelving, which are perfect for medium and small parts. They're extremely heavy duty, great for rotors, storage like that. So these are actually shelving units that we put drawer mounting uprights and therefore drawers in. There's a culmination of sizes. We've got smaller drawers, we've got medium-sized drawers, we've got larger drawers, just for all the different types and sizes of parts.
I love that they're empty.
We have so much. They
have room to grow.
They have room to grow is the point. You don't want to just have them be already at their maximum capacity as they first get moved in.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
They're utilizing everything that they have, but there is still room for them to grow as their sales have been consistently, actually exponentially.
Yes.
So they have rolling ladders to be able to pick. These are 11-foot 3-inch units, which is pretty tall for Borroughs box edge.
Yeah.
You usually see like 7-foot 3 high, but they can go all the way up to 16 feet with deck over things. So these are all closed units, closed sides, closed backs. They all have magnetic label holders. So that way, as they continue to find forever homes and label parts, that they can not only have the parts on the boxes, but also on these you can see that
I was talking to TJ, and he mentioned that already, getting some barcode systems put in place.
Yeah, exactly. So then they can barcode and do that easily. You can see where they've thrown some labels that just kind of organized by the drawer.
Yep. And these are the for now labels. Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's they're going to get really. I love that there's so much space. Like they have so much space now that there's empty stuff for them to grow, and they don't really know what to do with the space yet, it looks like.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Obviously, we were fortunately able to conceal all the columns of the freestanding mezzanine. Mm-hmm. And so they aren't clogging up any of the aisle spaces in the shelving. That was all by design. And this does run all the way to the half wall that they put up there. This was just a wide open space originally.
How do you decide?
It's insane.
Yeah, how do you decide how many of these open shelf units you have, and how many of these high density drawers you put in?
That's a great question. Borroughs does have a inventory survey, a parts department survey of sorts, so they can tell us, roughly how many parts they have, whether that's tires or small parts or drawers that they currently have. We can kind of try to look into, the future a little bit and see what they anticipate they might need. And like you said, you make sure that you have a nice culmination of everything for their smallest parts, the medium-sized parts, the large, heavy, bulky ones. And, the great things about these shelves is that they do have more than one application. They're great for various things. They give you options. There's some,
So we were in the facility last fall and looking at some of the options that they already had in place. And this, as a guy who has to do the picking, I would be excited just to see this shelving unit right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were sticking stuff all on top of each other. And if they had to grab something that was on the bottom, they had to remove all of the pieces that were above it just to get to that piece on the bottom.
Yeah.
And now they have a shelf.
Yeah,
they have a shelf just for that piece right here, and they don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
So this is what I see when I see this place is the ability to be like, oh, there's my part. I'm just going to grab it right here and just grab it. I don't need to move this pile of stuff that was on top of it, which is what they were dealing with. Talk about slowing it down.
Their parts director talked about how much of an immediate advantage
I bet.
Which is phenomenal. So we're really happy to see things come to life. You know, like we said, we worked through this in the CET software, designing this over and over and over, fine tuning, revising. What about this? What about that? If we rotated this here or there, threw some more drawers here or there. So to see it in real life and to see the scale, how large it is, and now how much it's actually impacted their operation and increasing their bottom line, it's pretty great to see. I think that we have utilized the available space that they have about as efficiently as you can.
Oh, yes.
You know, for anything that doesn't fit on these smaller Borroughs shelving, you know, there are pallet racks that are obviously heavy duty, good for bulkier things.
Real bulky stuff.
Any of their other, you know, actual pallet storage. So yeah, this is just a sea of Borroughs shelving here.
It is.
You know, great. Good for loose items, good for boxed items, good for, I mean, all sorts of different things. And they have drawers galore.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, we're with TJ. TJ is the parts manager, general manager. You had a long title. What was that big long title?
I moved into a director of wholesale and fleet operations.
Fleet operations. So. That's the number I seen on the latest email I got from you. But you were in charge of making sure that this whole parts facility was put into place. You sat down with Sam at Tyler Supply.
Yep.
You walked through every single thing that you needed and hoped that you would wanted for, like, because you were working out of 2 former facilities. You had one that you outgrew.
Yep.
And then you went into you rented another facility, and then you quickly outgrew that one too.
Yep.
And you were like, this is ridiculous. I need a big 16,000 square foot facility.
Yep.
And this is where we are.
Yep.
So we came in here, and you got, like I said, you sat down with Sam Kite with Tyler Supply, and you laid it all out first. Now, how did you decide, like, this is what you needed? How did you work through how many parts you needed, how much room you needed? How did you?
Honestly, I had no idea. But Sam and Borroughs, I mean, they helped us figure it out.
Oh, that's good.
So,
like you just said, I don't know how many. Like this, how many parts we sell a year? Maybe is that?
Yeah, we did. Sam came in and we did an assessment.
Okay,
on,
an assessment.
on everything, and you know, we figured out what type of racking we need and drawers and everything.
So what we want to know now is what it was like before and what it's like now. So this is a brand new facility, obviously. I started walking around here, and I had walked in the other 2 places also, and I already felt more relaxed in this one.
Yep.
I could just like breathe more in this one.
Yep.
And I see the buzz of people walking around compared to what it was before, where you obviously were in different buildings.
Yep.
And you're like cutting through places, and there was your office was a throughway.
Yeah, it was a hallway.
It's a hallway. Yeah, it's like you had a different. It's like it's not even the same place. So can you tell me like no. about what it feels like to actually have this place now?
I mean, everything is just more efficient. We've been able to cut down, you know, on staff. Or the people. We had manpower running back and forth between all locations.
Gotcha.
They're actually here, you know, doing productive work. You know, we're not just running around like lunatics all day long, right? So the picking accuracy's gotten better. Like if you remember, like we had, you know, 12 parts on a shelf, 20 parts on a shelf.
I remember.
Like, you know,
you had one bin that had all the parts in there. And that was what I was telling Sam. I said, when I come over here and look at this stuff, the excitement that I felt for the guys who do the picking was like they could just come over here and just grab this part.
Yep.
And not have to tear down the entire bin of stuff to get to this one little part.
Yep.
And that isn't done.
Yep.
And you got them all labeled perfectly and beautifully already.
Yep.
So that you can just find them in your system. That is...
Yeah, we were able to break up the series of part numbers. You know, the guys are able to just go to the bin, go to the shelf, and pick one of 3 or 4 parts on a shelf now.
It looks like you guys organized this for us just because you knew we were coming.
No.
That's what it looks like. It looks like they're coming, they're going to film. We got to make it look, you know, organized and clean, but this is just what it looks like all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's got to be just relaxing on everybody's minds to know that when you put in the part in the system, this is where bin it's in. It's going to be there.
Yes.
That's got to be huge.
Yep.
And how much do you think that has saved you time and effort and money and that kind of thing?
No, I mean, I'd say we save easily 4 hours a day.
Really?
Easily. So
4 hours a day?
Yeah.
And you guys just got in here though, right? I mean, how long have you been in here?
I'm
surprised
2
you got all
months.
this in here
2
already.
months.
2 months you got
Yeah.
this in? All this is already in place and ready to go. So you've been hard working for 2. It's like a flight of the bees in here. That's where everybody's just going from part to part to part and dropping it off. And you have a whole centralized system over here now that you're working in. I don't even know what some of these things are. So you have this receiving. What is this? Is this your packaging? Your receiving?
Oh, this would be like our staging.
Your staging
area. So orders are able to get picked from downstairs, and they get picked from upstairs. They meet in the middle, and they're staged and double checked and packed, and then they hit the delivery shelves to go out.
What's the best part you think of this whole thing?
This
is the best part?
Yes, because now we're able to stage the orders and make sure that everybody did their job.
Okay. I don't know what that means. What staging the order means?
Staging the order is just checking, make sure the parts were picked accurately.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have any mispicks now.
Okay.
And get an order together. Before we were shuffling parts from that location down to that location, hoping, hoping everything just kind of ends up together. We did the best we could, but it was just a lot of chaos.
So who puts the orders in initially? Like, where do those come in from?
From customers.
Okay, so the customers, they put the order in online or call you or do whatever.
Yep.
It goes through the system, and then somebody gives them the order, obviously.
Yeah. So the customers will call in. We'll invoice a part. My counter team, they'll bill it out, and then these guys get the pick tickets to pick the parts and get them on the delivery shelves.
Counter team's over there.
Counter team is still currently at the dealership.
Okay, they put the order together, and then they get it to these guys. Yep. And this is all the pick facility. This is all the fulfillment center for everything.
Yep.
And then somebody's upstairs, downstairs. So you got a whole nother level to this. First of all, this is just the 8,000 square feet on the bottom.
Yep.
And then there's a whole bunch of rivet span and hanging parts and all the big bulky stuff that don't move as fast are upstairs.
Yep.
And so then they run it down this conveyor belt right in this system right here.
Yep.
And then you have gentlemen here and they check it.
Yep.
Done. Out the door.
Yep.
Amazing. So this is your crown jewel. This one, this double checking part.
Yeah.
Nah, I would think it's this personally. I think it's these drawers. Look at all this room for expansion you still have.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We didn't have any empty space before.
Oh my gosh.
So we have plenty of space to grow now.
Yeah. I mean the high density drawers in here that you'll be able to grow into, which is going to happen because you guys have already shown it. You're killing it. You've already expanded a bunch. You don't want to be back here next week doing this all over again.
No.
You can see right here all of the electrical and conduit that has been run to set up these workstations that goes in tandem with the Borroughs. Workstations. We provided the shelves and all these nice stainless tops. Make sure everything fits nicely, and then they go in, and the electricians come in afterwards, get everything kind of tuned in. To just really show you the options that are out there. You can see all of the wiring, electrical, Wi-Fi, fire suppression that's also been implemented to, and lighting to get this place up to code, working as efficiently as possible.
So this isn't just for looks. There's actual cables running through all here.
Oh yeah.
I thought it might have been like a little thing. If you wanted to bump against it, it's going to be fine. But it's got actual cables on the inside. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's head upstairs. See what we got upstairs.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, none of this was here. None of this. You were legitimately just putting these blue rivet span racks up.
Oh yeah.
They weren't even all put together yet. So when I walk up here to see all of this,
we might have had a couple of rows
yeah,
barely stood up at the point when we were here last. So yeah, it's come a long way. Now we're on top of the freestanding mezzanine. They've got an additional 8,000 square feet of storage up here. And traditionally, we want all of the smaller, faster moving parts on the main floor, closer to where things are going to be shipped out. Upstairs is where we like to put a lot of the bulkier, heavier duty stuff, things that aren't quite as fast moving. So you can see here we've got a culmination of bulk storage and hanging storage. And the hanging storage is perfect for all these different types of bumpers and coils and mufflers and things that are just kind of awkward, hard to store, don't really come in boxes. They're great with these hanging J-hooks. We have these 96-inch
I love
J-hook
this.
rails.
I've not seen this much hanging storage before. So this
We've
is
got a ton.
really cool.
So you've got units that are for the really long hanging parts right here, where we just have one that has about 6 feet of clearance. And then you have other racks here for some of the shorter hanging stuff. They have 2 levels of hanging clearance, or hanging racks, I should say. So, you know, we just did that by design, knowing that there were different size products that they were going to need to be hanging. Miscellaneous stuff like some of these catalytic converters that are really long, they can just lay right on the bottom of the racks.
I see that, because that's again the rivet span. You're doing double duty here with the hanging rack and putting down the platform.
Exactly. Look, you have box storage above, hanging rack storage here. So, excuse me, we're really trying to utilize every square inch of the space.
No kidding.
Everything is uniform. We have nice aisles to access all of this stuff.
And you take it all the way to the end.
Once again, it's all the way lined up. Yeah, so we have the nice break in the middle here. There is an aisle on the far end there as well. But yeah, we just wanted to utilize
taking all the space,
as much space as possible. And then that kind of brings you to the center of the mezzanine platform up here in the sea of shelving that's up here, all Ford blue, by the way.
Yeah.
And this is where the conveyor is. So they have workstations up here where their employees are coming up. They're fulfilling orders. They're picking them. They're logging it in the system for their inventory. They put it on top of the conveyor so that everything can go down via that. No parts are carried down the steps whatsoever. It's against, none. That's their policy. You're going to get written up if you carry parts down the stairs. Yes, they.
Well,
don't
safety
want any,
first, man.
Safety is a major priority.
These are huge parts, man.
Safety
Why would you be
efficiency.
carrying one of these big fenders down if you don't have to?
Exactly. So that's the big point of the conveyor. And then to get materials up, they use a conveyor as well as the loading gate on the other side where they can actually bring up pallets up here.
Yeah.
This flooring is live load rated for 2,000 pounds. So you can use a pallet jack and take a 2,000 pound pallet and roll it all over the floor anywhere around.
Really?
So they're able to load, big.
So I barely meet the qualifications.
Yeah, we're all good. There's plenty of capacity up here, room for them to continue growing. Put a lot of their heavier parts, the slower moving stuff, and you can just see the level of organization. I mean, looking at their original facilities
beautiful
compared to this, I mean, it's been great to see them actually live into the solution some more and watch it come to life, and just you can see the capability of what solid storage products can really do for you.
Yeah.
And working with companies like Tyler Supply and Borroughs that will work with you from, start to completion and bring this, dream to real life.
Down to the 16th of an inch.
Down to the 16th of an inch. That's right. That's what we talked about. Yep.
All the way down. And it looks like every space, you did everything you could to maximize it. You gave them room for growth.
Yeah.
Going in that this is you talk with TJ, this is where we're going to be in the future, and we don't want to be back here again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got 40 feet aisles that way, 40-foot aisles this way. So I mean, if you kind of walk through, you can just see all of the shelving that they have. These shelves are great because you can pick from either side, or if you have really long pieces, they can go across. This is a total 6-foot span. Kind of like how you see they've got some bumpers overhanging either side down there. We have our main traffic aisle here. This is where the pallets are brought up onto the mezzanine level. Just give plenty of space, increasing safety, efficiency, just jam packing too much in one area is not necessarily going to work in your favor.
I feel comfortable being in this one more than the before, where it was just obviously just overflowing with parts.
Exactly.
And now it just the peace of mind I feel in here compared to the prior facility that was obviously, everybody on top of each other a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean they're just trying to find any space they possibly could.
I feel more relaxed in this space.
Yeah, it does, and I think that just translates to the increased, picking efficiency and accuracy, which is just going to mean you're making more money. You're able to ship out and sell more parts in, the same amount of time, and that's the name of the game. And to do so in a brand new facility and have everything work so well together, complement one another, look very nice. They have other wholesalers that are going to come in here to see exactly how they've got it set up so that they can replicate that and, take a page out of their playbook.
They're going to be the showcase now.
Exactly. Now they're leading by example here, and that's the goal.
Everybody downstairs better not be camera shy because there's gonna be a lot of people walking in anyway. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate
Thanks,
the whole
Kyle.
tour of
Yeah,
everything you
course.
did there. You guys have done some great work. Glad to be your partner.
Yeah, this is the fulfilling part, that's for sure.